read off my notes. Every call, every visit, every email, every flag I'd filed. She read the transfer request I'd submitted 2 weeks before Dina even sent her complaint. Dina's face didn't move at first. It was frozen in that practiced expression of concern, but her eyes changed. They shifted from confident to calculating to panicked in about 4 seconds. Lorraine closed the folder and said the records are complete. There's no gap. She looked at Dina and said, I also want to address something else. Over the past several weeks, I've received comments from multiple team members about interactions in the office that concern me. She didn't elaborate. She didn't need to. Dina knew exactly what she meant. Lorraine told Dina she was being placed on a performance improvement plan, not for the false report alone, but for a pattern of behavior that multiple people had raised concerns about independently. Lorraine said the office was meant to be a collaborative environment, and that leadership within the team should be supportive, not exclusionary. Dina sat there staring at the desk and didn't say a word. When we walked out of the office, she looked at me and her eyes were red. She said, you planned this. I said I didn't plan anything. You sent a false report about my work, and my records disproved it. That's not a plan. That's a consequence. She said you turned everyone against me. I said I didn't turn anyone. I treated them with respect. That's all I did. If that turned them against you, then maybe look at what you were doing differently. Dina didn't speak to me for 2 weeks after that. She came to work and did her job and went home. She didn't make comments. She didn't whisper to people. She didn't send emails about anyone's formatting. She didn't hover near Lorraine's door. She didn't hold court in the break room. She ate lunch alone at her desk with her headphones in and left at exactly 5 every day. The office was quieter in a way that felt unfamiliar, not tense, just still, like a room after a storm passes and nobody quite trusts the sky yet. Willa told me it was the first time in 3 years she didn't feel like she had to watch what she said at work. She said she used to rehearse conversations in her car before coming inside to make sure she didn't say anything Dina could twist. June told me she used to get headaches every Sunday night thinking about coming to work on Monday, and that they had stopped. She said she didn't even realize how bad it was until it wasn't anymore. A woman named Carla from the other side of the office, who I barely knew, stopped me in the hallway and said, whatever you did, thank you. I said I didn't do anything. She said, exactly. You didn't do anything mean. That was enough. A month later, Dina asked to talk to me. She came to my desk at the end of the day when most people had already left. The office was dim because half the overhead lights were on timers and had already shut off. She pulled up a chair and sat down and looked at her hands for a long time before she said anything. I waited. I didn't prompt her. I didn't make it easy. Not because I wanted her to suffer, but because I knew from every workshop and every case file and every conversation with every kid I'd ever worked with that the moment someone starts to be honest, it has to come from them. You can't pull it out. You have to let them find it. She said, I've been thinking about what happened, and I don't think I was wrong about everything, but I know I was wrong about the report. I said, okay. She said, I didn't expect you to be the way you are. I said, what way? She said, calm. Like nothing I did bothered you. Like you'd seen it all before and you weren't impressed by any of it. I said it bothered me. I just chose not to let it change how I treated people. She was quiet again. Then she said, I've been the way I am for a long time. At my last job, I was the same. The job before that too. I don't know how to be in a room without making sure everyone knows I'm in the room. I looked at her and I saw myself at 15, standing in a hallway making sure everyone moved when I walked, making sure no one forgot I was there, making sure I was never the one who felt small by making everyone else feel smaller. I said, I understand that more than you know. She looked at me like she didn't believe me. I said I used to be the worst bully you've ever met, worse than anything you've done here. I did things to people that I'll carry for the rest of my life. I changed because someone showed me what my behavior was doing to a girl who wanted to stop being alive because of me. That's what it took. A girl who didn't want to be alive. Dina's face changed. The hardness that was always there cracked just slightly. She didn't say anything